Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? Check out rockbottomcoins.com for cheap and fast coins. Use code ZIRK for 30% off your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys my Madden 21 base elite wide receiver predictions. Now, by the time this video is out, I should have already done the running backs and also the quarterbacks. So if you guys have not already seen those videos, make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. Also, you've probably seen me wearing this outfit in every single one of those videos, maybe a couple other videos this week because I'm currently going on vacation. I'm still able to record any new content, whatever, so don't worry about that. I will have videos out if we get something new. But I do want to give a shout out to Wall-in-One for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. Also, when it comes to my base elite wide receiver predictions, I do want to let you guys know that, of course, some people may not be the happiest with my list. It's going to happen. I also want to let you guys know that I think there's probably going to be more than 10 wide receiver base elites. So there's going to be some players that are not going to be on this list that will still get a base elite. Just keep that in mind. I'll try to do like an honorable mention or something if there are any. But with that being said, let's get into my top 10 base elite Madden 21 wide receivers. Now, before I even get started here, I do want to mention that this was very, very hard. Of all the lists I've had to put together so far, wide receivers I think was definitely the hardest because there are so many good wide receivers that I potentially could have put on this list. But honorable mentions, I'm going to put them right here. Tyreek Hill is not going to be my top 10 list, although I think he could be the same overall that I predict Mike Evans to be. If you take a look at the stats, you really got to take a look at the stats of these guys. I think that he could potentially be the same overall as Mike Evans, what I think he's going to be. And also Antonio Brown. I don't know if he's going to get a card or not. I think he will get a card, but I'm just not sure what overall they're going to make him since he, barely played. So he's not going to be on this list. And my final honorable mention here, because I believe he also could be an 83 overall, like I'm about to tell you guys, Mike Evans, is Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's probably going to be about an 83. He did have 1,000 receiving yards, but he's not even top 25 in terms of receiving yards in the entire NFL, and also touchdowns, I believe he only had like 4. So I really don't think he's going to get a super high overall card. So Mike Evans, I'm going to say will be an 83 overall. 1,157 yards with 8 touchdowns, and I feel like he had a pretty solid season. And as I said, guys, trust me, this is probably the list people may be the most upset with because there's just so many wide receivers who had incredible years. I think Mike Evans is going to be number 10 at an 83. Next up, who I also believe is going to get an 83 overall, is going to be Amari Cooper, who had over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. I believe Cooper and Mike Evans probably both will have the same overall. You guys already know I'm a Cowboys fan, so as badly as I want to put Cooper higher, I think an 83 is about right for Amari Cooper to start the year. I don't think he's one of the absolute best wide receivers in the NFL. He's not on like the D-Hop, the Julio type level, but he's right underneath him, I'd say. So I think an 83 overall is pretty good. Now, with 94 catches for over 1,100 yards and I want to say 10 touchdowns, Cooper Kupp. He actually had a better season than a lot of really high-profile wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, now he had an 80 overall coming into this year. I think Cooper Kupp is going to get an 84. It's going to be pretty weird to see that he's above Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, a lot of guys. I feel like he is going to be a higher overall, and I feel like some people who don't really pay that close attention, like the Rams or whatever, may not know that much about Cooper Kupp. He is an absolute stud. If you do not watch Rams games, you definitely need to because Cooper Kupp is just all over the field dominating. Had him in fantasy, played pretty good there too. So Cooper Kupp, 84 overall. I think he is going to be higher than Mike Evans, and I think he is going to be higher than Amari Cooper. Now, coming in with 1,202 yards and 9 touchdowns was Devontae Parker. And he actually was 5th in the NFL in terms of receiving yards, and he led the entire AFC in receiving yards. So Devontae Parker is definitely one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL. I'm very curious to see how him and Tua do this year. I think that he's going to get an 84 overall. I think he's going to be right there with Cooper Kupp as well at an 84. And also, in terms of Madden 20, this man badly needs an upgrade. Like, literally, Devontae Parker, I think, has only got, 93 overall card. If this man doesn't get a power-up expansion, I'd be very disappointed because he badly needs an upgrade. One of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Just not a lot of people talk about him. Now with 11 touchdowns for 1,190 yards that actually led the entire NFL in terms of receiving touchdowns, Kenny Golladay should get a pretty solid card, right? So I think Kenny Golladay, very similar to Devontae Parker, both very, very underrated players. Not a lot of people talk about Kenny Golladay or Devontae Parker, and I think that makes sense as to why they both should be an 85 overall. And honestly, a 6'4", 85 overall wide receiver with some decent speed, decent catching stats. I feel like Kenny Golladay, even though he'll be like an 85, 84-ish, I think he will get 85. I think maybe a little bit cheaper because not a lot of people may want to pick up Kenny Golladay for their team because he's not, the biggest name player. I think this could be, honestly, a really good budget card. Kind of more expensive because he's an 85, but it may be on the lower end of 85 overalls in terms of pricing. Could be good for Madden 21. So Keenan Allen was third in the league in catches. He also had 1,199 yards, so basically 1,200 yards. And I want to say 6 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, I think because of his reputation, you can see he has an 82 overall core lead as well. I believe he is going to get an 86 overall. I'm going to put him above Devontae Parker. I'm also going to put his overall above Kenny Golladay. Keep in mind, one thing that does kind of change with some things is where the players were in their previous year. So Keenan Allen already have an 82. He has a higher likely chance probably to get, a higher card unless someone just has like an absolutely insane season like Patrick Mahomes, obviously, right? He had an 87 overall card coming into this year after winning MVP. He wasn't even the highest overall quarterback in Madden 20, which was insane. But Keenan Allen, I think, is probably going to end up getting an 86. Still to this day, one of the more underrated players in the NFL. Again, kind of someone you don't really see people talking about in the discussion of the top wide receivers. So with 1,165 yards and 7 touchdowns, it kind of sounds like a down year for DeAndre Hopkins, but he also was third in the league in catches. So D-Hop, in my personal opinion, is probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. I love DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like he is one of the best wide receivers, if not the absolute best. However, because of his quote-unquote down year, which still he put up incredible numbers, just he didn't put up insane numbers like a couple of other guys this year. I think he's going to go down in overall from his 88, and I think he's going to be an 86 overall. Now, still, he can be one of the best wide receivers in the game. He's still one of the best receivers in the entire NFL, but he's also now a Cardinal. So we'll see how he works out with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, but D-Hop, I think he's going to go down to an 86. Still, my personal opinion, probably the best wide receiver in the league. Now with 1,333 yards and 9 touchdowns, Chris Godwin had an incredible season. Now, of course, one thing, though, is that he does only have a 78 overall this year. So even though he had an insane season, I'm not going to put him at 87. I'm going to put him at 86 right there with DeAndre Hopkins. Chris Godwin, of course, is 6'1", and at a 78 overall, had 82 speed. So he might have some pretty decent speed heading into Madden 21 if he does get the same overall as D-Hop. And hopefully, the catching, the route running will be a little bit better because those stats really don't show that much for a 78 overall. But Chris Godwin, again, a very underrated player. And I think the Bucs this year with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady, that offense is going to be absolutely deadly. So Godwin could have another amazing season, but I think he's going to be 86. So with 99 catches, over 1,300 yards, and 6 touchdowns is Julio Jones. Now, I'm not going to put him at the same level as Chris Godwin or DeAndre Hopkins because he had an incredible season. I'm going to put Julio Jones at an 87 overall, up from his 86 at the beginning of Madden 20. You easily can make the debate that Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the NFL, or you can easily make the debate that if you want a wide receiver, you want a Julio Jones. You want the 6'3" height, you want the incredible speed, and the amazing route running / catching ability that Julio has. All around, Julio Jones is one of the most prototypical wide receivers in the NFL. If you want a wide receiver, you want a wide receiver like Julio Jones, and I'm going to put him at an 87 overall. And with 149 catches for 1,700 yards, obviously, Michael Thomas has got to be the highest overall basically wide receiver going into Madden 21. At an 88 overall, broke the record for most catches in the entire season, I want to say. So 100% deserves it. I know a lot of people like to trash talk Michael Thomas, especially over on Twitter, but still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and I believe he is going to get an 88 overall card heading into Madden 21. So that being said, guys, that is my list of my base elite Madden 21 wide receivers. Let me know down below who you guys think is going to be in the top 10 wide receivers. And as I said, this is probably the hardest list that I've had to make because there's just so many good wide receivers in the league. I feel bad I didn't get to put some of them on this list, but you know, OBJ, Antonio Brown could have potentially been on this as well. There's just so many different wide receivers that could have been here. Thielen, Diggs, so many. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, make sure you guys drop a like on the video and of course hit that sub button down below. I'll see you guys next time.